How does your communication become influenced by whether you're in a rural space or an urban space? I'm Tina B, and today's Rooftop Chat wants to address these actual ideas of how space affects and influences how you show up, how you communicate with other people, for it's all energy. The first is tuning into the amount of people that you're around. For when you're in an urban setting, you're going to be taking in and witnessing and experiencing so much more energy. And it's neither good nor bad, but it just is. So when you are around people, it can lend itself to comparing your abilities to that of others, and that can affect and influence your mindset, your perception of self, and what you're capable of doing. Whereas in rural, obviously, there are fewer people and it's less competitive. So when you can take that into consideration, that can affect and influence, if you just stay in your being, the essence of who you are, and show up as that, then you're best able to connect with others. The second consideration is really the importance of actually getting into nature, having that spaciousness. For nature really does fuel our energy. It also cleanses our brain, that whole monkey mind, that chatter that can affect and influence our messaging, as well as there is something about being in the space, walking on earth barefoot, that can really center yourself, center your communication. And I find that when I am able to do that, I get some of the most creative ideas and ways of which to communicate to other people that really lend itself to meeting the needs in that moment. The last consideration is, however, in the rural, you can get a lot of solitude, and solitude can lend itself potentially to loneliness. I found this particularly for me in the pandemic, where that isolation could be harder on how you show up. So it's really important to be intentional. Having a phone call, engaging on Zoom, making those connections. And so finding a balance between solitude and alone time and quiet time, which is very important, but also time and connection with the other. And so in the end, what I have found when it comes to the environment, it's really all about embracing contrast. I enjoy so much the energetic vibe that I get from the city, from urban experiences, where it really enhances my creativity. I took a trip to Atlanta and found all things art, both performance and visual, really got the juices flowing. But it's also taking time to get out into wide open space where you can see green things growing, grass, trees, shrubs, and being around that. And if you find yourself in urban, you can still make your urban space green and natural with plants inside, appreciation for what's growing, because cities are doing better with that. And so it's all about embracing what is. It's neither good nor bad, it just is. So remember, if you are wanting to connect, to communicate more magnetically, I'd love to hear more about your insights, your questions, your concerns, and I'd love to invite you to my website, tinabakehouse.com. That's tinabakehouse.com, where you'll get to sign up for my newsletter, as well as get tips and tools for my upcoming book, Discovering Our Magnetic Speaker Within. This is another Rooftop Chat with Tina B.